Well, as travel begins to rebound, you may be ready to jump on a plane and take that much needed vacation, or maybe visit some family members you haven't seen in a while. And when it comes time to packing, you may be asking yourself, are there any new TSA rules I need to be aware of? Or maybe you just need a refresher on what the rules actually are. Well, in this video, I'm going to be answering the most frequently asked TSA rules that will help you with your packing strategy. Hey, for this meeting for the first time, my name is Ben. I'm the owner of Ben Tennis Dream Vacations Travel Agency, and on this channel, I create travel resource and information videos just like this one to help you plan for your next vacation. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Well, let's go ahead and jump into question number 1. So yes, liquids and gels are allowed in your checked bags. The only restrictions are if you're going to be carrying liquids and gels in your carry-on. Yes, you can bring liquids and gels in your carry-on, but there are restrictions. And the restriction is that for every liquid and gel that you want to carry, they need to be put in individual containers of 3.4 ounces or less and placed inside one clear quart-size Ziploc bag. And you are only allowed one bag per passenger. If you need to carry more than the 3.4 ounces, then those items need to go in your checked baggage. As long as you declare them at the security checkpoint, then they are exempt from the liquid and gel rule. You can carry more than the 3.4 ounces and they do not need to be in a plastic bag. However, the TSA does recommend that they be in their original container to help expedite screening, but it's not necessary. Yes, refillable travel size containers are acceptable. Well, that will depend on what kind of powder you're trying to take through security, but for the most part, things like coffee, spices, baby powder, those things are okay to take through security, but if it's more than 12 ounces, it could be subject to additional screening. I myself like to wear slip-on shoes just because it's easy to get on and off and it helps to speed up the security line, but you are welcome to wear any type of shoes that you want to wear through security. Yes, you can take makeup on the plane, but they are subject to the same liquid and gel rule. So things like liquid mascara, lip balms like Blistex, those items would have to go into that quart size clear plastic bag along with your other liquids and gels. Lipsticks and other solids can stay in your purse or carry-on. And just to go along with that, stick deodorant, that also can stay in your carry-on. But if you have a gel or spray deodorant, those items would be subject to the liquid and gel rule as well. Yes, you can take food through security, but they are subject to that same liquid and gel rule just like everything else. And this one can be a little bit tricky. If you think about foods like cheesecake, mashed potatoes, some chunky soup, those items probably would not pass through security. But I do know that solid baked goods like pies and cakes are okay, as well as solid snack foods like chips, pretzels, carrots. But I would hold off trying to take a peanut butter and jelly through security. That would probably get confiscated from you. Single serving packages of condiments are okay as well as if you want to take those frozen gel packs to refrigerate your food or even medication. Those are okay, but they do have to be in that solid state in order to get through security. Yes, once you make it through security, anything you buy in that secured area, you can take on the plane with you. I've never had any issues with it, but I do know that in some airports overseas, it may require some additional screening or they may ask you to throw it out altogether. If your child is 12 and under, they do not need to take off their shoes, coats, or hats before they go through security. If the metal detector goes off when going through it, the TSA may ask them to go through it again, or they may just swab your child's hand in lieu of a pat down. If your child is 13 and over, they are subject to the same screening process as adults. Yes, there are some special rules if you are a senior over 75. If you're over 75, you don't have to take off your shoes or coats when going through airport security, although you may be asked to take them off if a screener finds any anomalies. So if you're going to be packing loose lithium batteries, those would have to be packed in your carry-on bag, as putting them in your check bag would not be allowed. If they're installed in a device like a camera, those can go in either your check bag or your carry-on bag. There is a limit to how many lithium batteries you can carry, and if you need more information on that, you can go to FAA.gov and search for the lithium battery chart. These items are allowed, but there are restrictions. If you're carrying a straight edge razor, the blades have to be packed in your check bag. And for scissors, as long as the blades aren't more than 4 inches long, they can be put in your carry-on. Otherwise, if they're more than 4 inches, they'll have to go in your check bag. Yes, however, circular thread cutters and other needlepoint tools with blades on them would need to be packed in your check bags. Most other countries follow similar security requirements as here in the US. Most countries, since they're on the metric system, require 100 milliliters of liquids and gels in a 1 liter plastic bag, which is pretty much the same as the 3.4 ounce and the quart size bag here in the US. Yes, duty-free liquids are allowed, and they can be over the 3.4 ounce rule as long as they were purchased at a duty-free store and they were placed in a special tamper-evident bag. They can also be placed in your check bag, but be sure to keep your receipt because you'll need to prove that they were purchased in the last 48 hours. So actually, yes, you can carry up to 5.5 pounds of dry ice in either your carry-on or your check bag. But it has to be in a package that allows for the venting of carbon dioxide gas. And whichever airline you're going to be flying, that airline has to approve you carry in dry ice on board their aircraft. So if you want to take dry ice on your carry-on through security, make sure it's still in a solid state. Otherwise, the TSA is going to confiscate it. So if you're worried about that, you might as well just place it in your checked bag. So the best way to handle this is as you're approaching the TSA agent, tell them your medical issue and they will determine the best way to screen you and any equipment that you're carrying. The TSA does not require a doctor's note describing your condition, but it could help in expediting the screening process. So this really depends on the airport you're departing out of. Is it a busy time of season? Is it a holiday? Is it a major hub? Are you checking luggage? All these things factor into how much time you should give yourself when going through airport security. If you're at a major hub and it's a busy time of season and you're checking luggage, then I would give yourself 2 hours. If you're not going to be checking luggage and you have an e-ticket already, you can bypass the tickets counter and go straight through security. Then an hour and a half probably is enough time for you. For small to medium-sized airports, an hour to an hour and a half should be enough time. And keep in mind that boarding process usually starts a half hour before your departure time. So if you're one of those people who like to get there before boarding starts, then keep that in mind as well and give yourself some more time. For international flights, I like to give myself 3 hours just because you do have to stop at the ticket counter and most likely check a bag and show your passport and any other documentation to satisfy the entry requirements for whatever country you're going to. So if you're a first-time flyer, or maybe it's been a while since you've been through airport security, the process is once the TSA agent checks your ID, then you have to go through a screening process where you have to take off your shoes, your belt, remove any jewelry, cell phone keys, or any other metal items and place them in a bin for screening. And then you have to go through either a metal detector or a full-body scan machine. Now you could opt out of the scan machine, but then you would be subject to a full, thorough pat-down by a TSA agent of your gender. If you're bringing your laptop and other electronic devices, those will need to be removed from their cases and placed in a separate bin for screening as well. You can request to go through the full body scanner again, but it's up to the TSA agent to decide whether or not to allow you to go through it again. If they deny your request, then you will be subject to a pat-down. If you're going to be bringing gifts, first of all, do not wrap them, as the TSA may unwrap them anyway to inspect them. And honestly, the best way is just to ship them ahead of time, or you can place them in gift bags that is easy for the TSA to examine. Most electronic devices are allowed in either your checked or carry-on luggage. If you're going to pack them in your carry-on, make sure you pack them at the very top of your luggage because the TSA is most likely going to ask you to remove those items or ask you to open your bag to inspect those devices. Yes, you can lock your suitcase, but you will need a TSA-approved lock so that the TSA can open your bag if they need to. Otherwise, they'll just cut off your lock. Absolutely, there is a faster way through airport security. It's called TSA PreCheck, and you may have heard about it or seen signs for it at the airport. I myself have TSA PreCheck, and it's a great time saver. I can usually get through airport security in about 5 to 10 minutes. And the good thing about it is I don't have to take off my shoes or my coat. All my electronic devices can stay in its bag. It does require you get a background check and fingerprinting. So if you're interested in getting it, I have a video that'll give you more information and how to apply for the TSA PreCheck program. You can just click the link here above, or you can also find the link in the video description below. So those were the 25 most frequently asked questions about TSA rules going through airport security. Make sure to like the video if you had one of your questions answered in this video, and consider subscribing to get more travel-related videos just like this one. And should you want a travel professional like myself to help you plan your next vacation, you can contact me at btennis@dreamvacations.com. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you again in a future video.